Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we are going to have a discussion about MCQs based on human skeletal system, bones and cartilage related to support in man. Let's move to the question number 1. The skeletal system does not. Skeletal system performs a variety of functions, but heat production is a function of muscle cells instead of bone tissues. Skeletal system, it provides support, a proper shape, helps in movement, it produces blood cells. It is also involved in storage of minerals as well as fat storage in some longer bones. But heat production is a function of muscle cells. Question number 2. Spongy bone. Spongy bone, it contains red bone marrow. It is the inner area and it gives some sort of strength to the bones. So beta is not the right option. Contribute to the lymph flow is irrelevant, and stored glycogen that is stored in muscles not over here. So beta, Charlie and delta, they are irrelevant, but alpha is related to spongy bone. All types of blood cells, they are produced by which of the following? They are produced by a red bone marrow, and as you can see the red bone marrow reduces down as the aging proceeds. So right option over here is beta, red bone marrow. The other type which increases with the age is yellow bone marrow. Exoskeleton and endoskeleton differ in that an exoskeleton is rigid and an endoskeleton is flexible. No. Endoskeletons are found only in vertebrates. No. So some of the invertebrates such as mollusca, cephalopods, they have internal forms of skeleton. Exoskeleton are composed of calcium and endoskeleton are built from chitin. It is not always the case. Exoskeleton is not always composed of calcium and endoskeleton is not composed of chitin. Exoskeletons are external to the soft tissues and endoskeletons are internal. Yes, it is the right statement that endoskeletons, they are internal to the muscles and exoskeletons are outer to the muscles. Exoskeleton, they are ectodermal in origin and endoskeleton, they are endodermal. Which of the following cells are responsible for secretion of collagen fibers in the bone tissue? These are fibroblasts, so delta. Which region of the skeletal system provides support and attachment for forelimbs? Its pectoral part, which provides attachment site for the forelimbs, and pelvic part for hind limbs. So beta. How do osteocytes obtain nutrients among non-living collagen matrix? They are embedded in it in certain spaces and they're getting their nutrients from blood supply. So delta. Which of the following is not a bone of the appendicular skeleton? Rib cage is a part of axial skeleton, as you can see over here. Skull, rib cage, and vertebral column. And a rib is a part of axial skeleton instead of appendicular skeleton, while others in the list they are appendicular bones. The vertebrae that articulate with the ribs, they are thoracic vertebrae or chest vertebrae. So Charlie. Osteocytes are found in the spaces. There are certain spaces in the bone cells which are known as lacunae, and osteocytes they are present in the lacunae spaces. So right option is Charlie. Which of these pair is mismatched? We know slightly movable joints, they are vertebrae, cartilaginous joints. Hinge joints they're found in digits, elbow, knee, but they're not found in hip. So beta is the mispair. Synovial joints, elbow, yes, it's an example, and immovable joint, they are sutures in the cranium. Layers of connective tissue around bone and cartilage respectively. Connective tissue layer around bones is known as periosteum, while around cartilage it is known as perichondrium. So the right answer over here is Charlie, periosteum and perichondrium. One of the following has higher number of bones in it as compared to others in the list. Cranium has 8, vertebral column has 26 bones, right forelimb is having 30 bones, and rib cage is having 25. So right option is Charlie. The right forelimb, it will possess more bones as compared to other in the list. Ilium, ischium, and pubis, these are the bones which combine together to form coaxial or pelvic bone. Two pelvic bone, two coaxial bones are shown over here. So right option is Charlie. Ribs which are attached to the sternum by forming a costal arch, they are known as false ribs. It includes pair number 8, 9, and 10. They are forming coastal arch for the attachment, while first 7 pairs they are directly attached, which form 2 ribs, and the last 2 they are floating ribs. Over here, the right option is false ribs. Cartilage present in respiratory tract except epiglottis is hyaline cartilage, because most of the cartilage, most abundant cartilage in our body as well as in respiratory tract is hyaline. Which of the following vertebrae form pivot joint with the skull to allow its rotational movement? Its axis vertebrae or second cervical vertebrae C2, which form pivot joint with the skull. Largest facial bone is mandible, and it is also the only movable bone in the skull or face beta. Which of the following bone is not attached with any other bone directly? It's hyoid bone, which is not directly attached to other bones in the skull or vertebral column. Least number of vertebrae are found in lumbar region, having 5 vertebrae only, while least number of bones they are found in pelvic region, because pelvic vertebrae they are 9 but they are counted as 2 bones. So delta is the right option, that there are 5 vertebrae in lumbar region but 9 vertebrae in the pelvic region. But 9 vertebrae of pelvic region they are counted as 2 bones only, sacral and coccyx bone. So delta is the right option. One of the following is the example of a multi-stage joint. It's a wrist or carpal joints. So Charlie, joints between growing bones are built by hyaline cartilage, and a type of joints in which pair of muscles are arranged in the same plane. It's hinge joint, in which muscles they are arranged in the same plane, while muscles which are arranged at 90 degrees they are found in ball and socket joint. Most common chronic arthritis caused by a genetic defect as well is osteoarthritis alpha, and factors contributing towards osteoporosis includes poor diet, smoking, estrogen deficiency, insufficient exercise, and lack of calcium. So delta is the right option. A nutritional deficiency in the skeleton which appears in the adults usually is osteomalcia. Due to deficiency of calcium and rickets, it appears usually in the children. The bones making up the palm and sole respectively. Palm bones they are known as metacarpals, while the metatarsals are the bones of sole in feet. So right option is beta. Here are the metacarpals and metatarsals shown in the diagram. One of the following is paired cranial bone. Paired cranial bone is temporal out of these because there are only 2 bones which are paired, temporal and parietal. The other 4 bones they are unpaired. So total there are 8 bones in the cranium, including 2 paired and 4 unpaired. Synovial fluid is secreted by synovial membrane of the synovial joint. So right option is Charlie. And last one, fibrocartilaginous callus or soft callus secretion during bone repairing process occurs due to the activity of osteoblasts, which are forming osteocytes over there, cartilage forming cells, as well as fibroblasts, which secretes collagen. So delta is the right option. Thank you so much. That was all about skeletal system and its important MCQs.